The soft hum of the streetlights on Willow Lane masked the kind of serenity only small-town neighborhoods could afford. But on that night, serenity shattered. A backpack, abandoned on the curb, a camera lying face down in the damp grass beside it, and a chilling silence that seemed to swallow every sound. These were the first signs that something profoundly sinister had occurred. From the outside, the Johnsons appeared to be the picture-perfect family. Emily Johnson, a devoted mother and high school teacher. Daniel Johnson, a software engineer with a meticulous routine. And their 14-year-old son Liam, quiet, bookish, often lost in his own world of photography. But that night, the veil of normalcy was ripped apart, leaving behind a mystery that would haunt investigators for years to come. The scene was deceptively mundane. The mailbox slightly ajar, the garden hose coiled carelessly on the side, a faint glow from the living room window. Yet every detail would later take on a sinister significance. The backpack, an unremarkable black canvas, belonged to Liam. Inside, however, investigators found his camera, its lens cracked, a notebook filled with fragments of thoughts, sketches of faces he had never spoken of, and a small, leather-bound journal with cryptic notes and dates circled in red ink. None of it made sense until the autopsy report arrived, confirming that Liam had vanished, leaving only whispers of struggle and a trail of questions that led nowhere. Emily and Daniel, consumed by panic, called the police, describing their son's disappearance as sudden and inexplicable. But officers quickly discovered inconsistencies in their statements, minor details that, while not overtly incriminating, hinted at the complex psychological labyrinth that surrounded the Johnson household. The investigation uncovered that Liam had been secretly documenting people in the neighborhood, using his camera to capture fleeting, unnoticed moments. What initially seemed like innocent hobby photography turned into a disturbing puzzle. Blurred images of unknown figures lurking near his school, dark silhouettes outside his window at odd hours, and, most alarmingly, several photographs of a hooded person, face obscured, watching him. These images were time-stamped late at night, the same nights when Liam had claimed to be alone in his room. Detectives noted the meticulous attention Liam had given to these photographs. Each frame seemed intentional, almost as if he knew he was documenting something of vital importance, something that could explain the unease in his heart. The backpack, the camera, the sketches, they became the focal point of the investigation. Police canvassed the neighborhood, interviewing every resident, noting the reactions that ranged from confusion to fear. Some neighbors reported seeing a shadowy figure near the Johnson home. Others claimed they heard arguments late at night, though nothing definitive tied the disturbances to the disappearance. The case quickly escalated when cyber investigators traced a series of encrypted messages on Liam's social media accounts. Messages that suggested he had been attempting to expose something dangerous. One message, in particular, stood out. A series of coordinates, and the words, "They are watching, but I will see." Digital forensics revealed the messages were sent in the week prior to his disappearance, likely composed in secret, suggesting Liam had been aware of a threat no one else could see. The detectives pieced together a timeline. On the evening of June 14th, Liam left the house under the pretense of photographing a local park. He never returned. Witnesses reported seeing him walk past familiar streets with a determined stride, backpack slung over one shoulder, camera ready. Surveillance footage from a nearby convenience store showed him entering alone, glancing nervously over his shoulder, clutching the backpack tightly. The footage ended abruptly as he exited moments later, but no one followed. No one called for help. The real puzzle began when forensic analysis of the backpack revealed traces of another individual's DNA unknown, not in any national database. The camera contained images never seen by the family. Grainy shots of a dark alley, a pair of feet running across puddles, hands grasping walls for support, a hooded figure that seemed to emerge from the shadows. There was also a final image, almost invisible due to poor lighting, of a face peering through a cracked window, eyes wide, almost panicked, and unmistakably watching Liam. Every frame told a story, yet the story was incomplete, fragmented, leaving a sense of dread that gnawed at every investigator who laid eyes on them. Emily and Daniel were questioned extensively. While their grief was genuine, detectives sensed a tension between their words and their expressions, a hesitancy that made them uneasy. Daniel admitted to noticing strange behavior in Liam weeks before his disappearance: sudden withdrawal, secretive note-taking, and an obsession with photographing unknown figures. Emily recalled finding the backpack zipper partially open with torn notebook pages scattered nearby, but dismissed it as teenage angst. Investigators wondered, had the parents been unknowingly shielding a child caught in something far darker than adolescence, or had they overlooked the signs until it was too late? Days turned into weeks. The case files grew heavier with witness statements, forensic reports, and photo analyses. Yet the breakthrough remained elusive. It was during a routine examination of Liam's camera that an experienced technician discovered an anomaly. Embedded within the memory card's metadata were GPS coordinates that pointed to a location just 3 blocks from the Johnson home, a derelict warehouse that had long been abandoned. Detectives descended upon the site cautiously. Inside, they found remnants of a life that had intersected dangerously with Liam's. Footprints in dust, a single overturned chair, scraps of paper with sketches similar to those in his journal, and a faint, lingering smell that suggested someone had been there recently, though the space had been thought deserted for years. Among the debris, there was a black backpack, almost identical to Liam's. Inside, however, was a journal belonging to another individual, filled with rambling messages about being watched, about capturing secrets, about a presence that could not be named. Investigators realized they had stumbled upon a network, a silent, hidden presence in their quiet neighborhood that had gone unnoticed until Liam had tried to document it. Every clue deepened the mystery. Fingerprints that did not match Liam or his parents, a camera lens shattered in a way that suggested struggle, and photographs that depicted places Liam had never mentioned visiting. The investigation took a darker turn when a local homeless man came forward. He claimed to have seen Liam entering the warehouse with a man in his late 20s, hooded face partially obscured, who seemed to guide him somewhere inside. The man had been carrying another backpack, and both figures disappeared into the building's shadows. The witness swore the boy never returned. Detectives now faced a labyrinth of questions. Who was this man? Why had he been following Liam? And what secrets did the boy uncover that had led him into danger? As media attention surged, the Johnson family faced relentless scrutiny. Neighbors whispered about a family curse and the haunting camera, while online forums theorized. Everything from kidnapping rings to supernatural surveillance. Some experts suggested that Liam had uncovered a local criminal operation, possibly involving theft, blackmail, or even something more sinister that required him to document evidence before disappearing. Despite the mounting theories, hard evidence remained frustratingly elusive. Weeks later, a forensic breakthrough came when police tested residues on the camera lens. The substance was chemical in nature, a rare industrial compound used in specialized photography labs, linking the unknown man to professional or semi-professional work with covert purposes. It raised a chilling possibility. Liam's camera had captured evidence not just of mundane threats, but of deliberate, calculated surveillance. And he had stumbled into a confrontation that someone wanted hidden at any cost. Public interest intensified when a leaked photo appeared online. A grainy image of Liam standing in front of the warehouse door, eyes wide, clutching his camera, as the hooded man's hand reached toward him. The image sparked debate. Had he been lured, coerced, or had he entered willingly to uncover the truth? Law enforcement struggled with the narrative, unsure if they were tracking a child victim, an investigative witness, or someone caught between both. In the months that followed, the investigation oscillated between hope and despair. Leads dried up, witnesses changed stories, and the neighborhood, once idyllic, became cloaked in suspicion. Emily and Danielle, desperate for closure, launched their own search, walking the streets, revisiting the places Liam had loved, hoping to find a clue overlooked by professionals. Meanwhile, the case file remained open, a living document of frustration, fear, and the unanswered questions that gnawed at the public imagination. Then, nearly a year later, a breakthrough arrived from an unexpected source. An anonymous tip directed investigators to a storage unit on the outskirts of town. Inside, they found a collection of items linked to Liam's sketchbooks, camera equipment, and a series of letters detailing encounters with the hooded man. The letters revealed a terrifying truth. Liam had discovered a hidden operation targeting children in the neighborhood, using surveillance and intimidation to control or erase those who noticed. He had tried to expose them through his photographs, but the final confrontation had gone wrong. Unfortunately, while the storage unit offered insight, it did not provide closure. Liam's fate remained uncertain, the hooded figure unidentified, the network unbroken. The haunting question lingered. How could a normal family, in a quiet street, have remained oblivious to the sinister world unfolding around them until it was too late? The investigation became emblematic of unresolved mysteries cases, where evidence tells a story, yet the ending remains shrouded. To this day, the backpack and the camera remain symbols of a boy's courage, a neighborhood's vulnerability, and a mystery that refuses to die. The city, the investigators, and the Johnson family live with the shadow of that night, haunted by what might have been, by the glimmer of understanding that is just out of reach. And so, the case sits in archives, a chilling reminder that evil can hide in plain sight, and sometimes, the simplest objects, a backpack. The camera can hold the key to secrets, too dangerous to confront directly. The questions remain. Who was the hooded man? What was the true nature of the operation Liam uncovered? And will the boy ever be found? Or has he become a ghost, lingering in the photographs he left behind? Midnight Crime Vault invites you to look deeper, to question what lurks in the shadows of the familiar, to imagine the stories behind the objects we pass every day. The backpack, the camera. The notes, they are fragments of a reality most will never see. Now, we leave you with this. If you were in Liam's shoes, would you dare to uncover the truth, or would you walk away, knowing some mysteries are meant to remain hidden? Consider the streets you pass tonight, the faces you do not know, and the objects that may hide secrets of their own. And if this story has chilled you, intrigued you, or left you questioning the world around you, do not forget to subscribe to Midnight Crime Vault. Join us as we dive into the darkness, the secrets, and the stories that haunt investigators and viewers alike. Because some mysteries do not end, they follow you silently into the night.